Very talented local journalists, and also struts her stuff at Nottingham Playhouse. Got a question, V?
I do. We're always looking for within the community. We're always looking for leaders here, especially here in the UK and here in Nottingham as well. In terms of looking at the next leader or the next Prime Minister, is it really fair, do you think, for us to make comparisons with Obama's journey in terms of looking for a black Prime Minister? Because it sort of annoys me sometimes when we look at the quality or we look at the numbers of, or even to look at the system, to look at the political system and say, you know, is it really fair to make that comparison of saying we're going to have a black Prime Minister from this particular cohort and comparing that journey to Obama's journey?
Oh, I wish you would have been there when a journalist in Arizona asked me the same question, but he posed it differently. He said, where's the Obama in Arizona? Right? Arizona is completely different than Chicago, where Obama came from. There were certain things have to be in place for an Obama to even have an opportunity to vie, let alone win it. Number one, I can talk to you, let me first talk about America, okay? America has had 1, 2, 3, 4 black senators since Reconstruction, okay? 5. 4 of the 5 have come from the North, okay? And 3 of the 5 have come from Chicago. What does that tell you? That tells you that there is, first of all, there's lots of black folks in Chicago. There's a large progressive white population in Chicago. It's a diverse community, and they have the demographics and the ability to put forth a candidate like that. Really, there's not a handful of other places in the United States where that's even possible. And so when the reporter asked me that question, I said, that's a flawed question, because this is not Chicago. And I said, furthermore, why does it have to be, where's the Barack Obama in Arizona? Barack Obama is not the end-all and be-all of a model for political success or success of any kind. I greatly admire him, but we have to, particularly black folks, we have to stop with this messianic, charismatic, put all of our tokens in one leader type of paradigm. We need to learn from our past. Number one, individual leaders can be taken out, and they have been. And what has happened is it's left our communities bereft, confused, and frustrated because the institutions haven't been strong enough to transcend, other than the church, right, for the most part, and a couple of others, to transcend those losses. And so we have to be less predictable, and we also have to define leadership in a different way. So I told this journalist, I said, in Arizona, I can introduce you to 40 or 50 black leaders of different ages that are moving and shaking and doing things, but you don't know them because you keep looking for Reverend Jackson clones or Al Sharpton clones or now Barack Obama clone. And I said, so, and they're doing things behind the scenes. I said, but you don't know them. So I said, the question is flawed. Even in asking the question, what you're doing is assigning our youth to boxes. So in order to be successful, you got to follow Barack Obama's path, which is somewhat, in some ways, problematic. Because Barack Obama, his politics doesn't really represent a great portion of the black community. Yeah. So are we confined then for settling for middle-of-the-road folks who aren't going to speak out on some of the issues that we want them to speak out in because in the interest of getting elected? And we have to demand that, you know, and so in Barack Obama's defense, I just think that's who he is, quite frankly. But in the defense of leaders like that, if we want to empower them to be more outspoken, we have to give them the power to do it. I'll be honest with you, I got in a little bit of trouble at Tufts. This was the first conference, you weren't there, because someone said they were angry with Obama because Obama gave that speech in Florida where he said that the relationship with the United States and Israel was sacrosanct. And they weren't upset that he said that about Israel. They said, well, why can't he say that about black folks? Our relationship with black folks in the diaspora is sacrosanct. And I said, okay, are you thinking emotionally or are you thinking like a politician? I said, Israel is $1 trillion question and Israel has nuclear weapons. Yes. Are we $1 trillion question? Are we thinking collectively enough to make politicians afraid of doing certain things around that? And when on the radio, I was talking about Pan-Africanism, and I said, you know, we have to have a different type of Pan-Africanism, not one based upon these lofty kumbaya type of ideals, but a strategic alliance to make heads of state have to make decisions that are in our collective best interest, but we don't have that yet. In many cases, we're like crabs in a barrel and fighting amongst ourselves over stuff, and then we get upset when Barack Obama doesn't say things like that about us. If we give him the power to say stuff like that about us, whether he will or not, I don't know, but there may be a leader somewhere or some communities that will do that. And the people some folks got mad at me for saying that, and I'm just, it's not that I feel good about that, but that's just the political reality.
Yes.
It's